Alright guys, if y'all look in all this super thick wisteria right back in there, a stack of bricks, that's a chimney. And there's actually a home site right there. And that's why we keep finding so many plates. But because the fields are right off that way. But we're gonna definitely check that out. But it is super viney. I mean, everything is just like that in there. And there's tons of poison ivy. But we'll check that out one of these days when it's still cold, so the snakes will be gone. But I don't think there's a whole lot to see in there. But I did get confirmation doing some research that there was a house there. There may be some other structure back there, and then further on down there was another house. So those two home sites out here is why we keep finding so much early American cookware and pottery. So anyway, let's get out and check the fields before it starts snowing. Alright, out here in the field again. It's just about too cold to be out here. It's about 35 degrees, I think. Wind chill makes it like 30. And it's supposed to be snowing right now, but all I've seen is a few flurries. But the whole area is covered in blue on the radar, so maybe it'll start snowing here in a minute. I don't know, but yeah, it's just about too cold to be out here. I got the big muck boots on today. It's super wet and muddy out here, but I'm gonna look around for a little bit until I get too cold and then get out of here. About got my truck stuck just trying to get in here, but that's why you buy four-wheel drive. All right, see you in a bit. Yeah, I can see there's a lot of stuff in these fields. Basically what I'm doing is I started back down in there and I worked this side till about where that little clump of green field cabbage or whatever you call that is, and just made grid lines all the way across. And then I'm coming down on this side. I'm using that, there's like a big rock right there, y'all probably can't see it, that's my marker, but basically just going to do some grids through here. And a friend of mine told me about using a golf club with the head cut off of it as a flipper, so you're not spending all day bending over, which has been a lifesaver. So if you see something promising, you just flip it out. You can take a look at it and you can see whether it's something worth looking at or not. I did find something already, but I'm gonna wait till the end of the video because it's covered in mud and I'm not even sure if it's a broken piece of something or that's been napped and worked, or if it's just a rock that happened to be hit by the plow just right. But anyway, I'm gonna kind of wait. It's super cold and I hate taking my gloves off right now, so anyway, I'm just gonna kind of come down here and use that big broken rock as my marker, and then I'll go that way and find something else to mark it. But all these big rocks, I mean, you see all those are big rocks. Those could potentially be hammerstones or something. I mean, I don't know what all's out there, but if the wind's loud on the video, I apologize. It's getting pretty gusty out here sometimes, but I'm gonna stay out here as long as I can stay in the cold, which is pretty long for me. I'm pretty hot natured, so. But I will say over there, that was really bad. I was sinking down about 2-3 inches in the mud, about sucked my boot off. So that spot kind of, some of that got skipped a little bit. It was just getting too nasty. But having this little rock flicker is a pretty sweet idea. But And there's so much stuff out here that just grabs your attention because it's triangular shaped or clovis shaped or whatever. And I mean something like that, you know. But you see, there's no way. But see, use a little flipper. You see, that's just a big old rock, just happens to be on edge. I don't have to bend down and pick it up and take my glove off and get muddy. And definitely helps with the bigger rocks, the ones that could be hammer stones. I'd be covering myself with mud. But anyway, there's that, whatever that is. Some of y'all probably know what it is, some kind of weed, or I just call it field lettuce. I don't know what it is. But so I'm going to turn around and then walk back up to where the big rock is and kind of work this grid, which is not what I did the first few times I came out. I kind of tried to work a little grid type pattern, but see, that's just a nice piece of quartz that's been hit by the plow. But you could actually take that home and flint knap it and maybe turn it into something. But just for those of you who don't know, flint knapping quartz is very difficult. Excuse me. It's probably one of the harder materials to flint knap because it tends to crumble and fracture in weird ways if it's not a really good quality piece of quartz. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing, basically just working the grid and flipping anything that looks interesting. I tell you, I would love to find an axe head or something out here, but I think the chances of that are pretty slim. Most of the big stuff has been hit by plows and broken up. But I did some research on South Carolina points from, you know, this area, and hang on a second. Ugh. Okay, that edge was kind of messing with me there, but it's just a broken rock. It's playing tricks on my mind. But yeah, they're not, the majority of what you're going to find is going to be quartz, but that's not always the case. So I'm trying not to just focus on, you know, white arrow or spear shaped things. I'm trying to focus on even stuff that's brown like that, because the natives traded with each other. They would you can find Morrow Mountain chert, flint, and other types of rocks that I'm drawing a blank right now. It's so daggum cold I can't think straight. Drawing a blank on what the other popular stuff was for this area, but I would say majority is going to be quartz. But I don't want to walk over something that's super cool just because I'm focused on quartz. Anyway, let me quit yakking and get off here. I don't want to make another long video that is pointless. It may turn out that I need to just come out here with my daughter. Maybe she's my good luck charm, but I don't know. We'll see. Alright, like I say, I'll if I find stuff, I'm probably just going to do kind of more like a wrap-up video because it's just so cold. I'm ready to put my glove back on, so I'll see y'all in a little bit. Okay, I came out over here to the other field where I've made other videos and struck out because, as you can see, everything's cleared out. And I just found what I believe is the base of one. I need to clean it up a little bit more, but this edge has definitely been worked. And I believe that's the shoulder. And that would be the base, and then this other side's broken off, or it could be a knife blade and that's just the back side of it. But that's definitely been worked, so I'll definitely get that cleaned up, check that out. But that's good, because this is the field where I've pretty much struck out every time I've come out. But like I say, now it's cleared out, and it's still hard to see because they're growing like some grass in here or what. I don't know what this is. I don't think this is soybeans, but it just looks like grass to me. But some of you farmers might be able to tell me, and then I'll feel bad for walking on it. But I just thought it was something they just planted just to put some nutrients in the soil before they plant the corn again. But I'm gonna put this in my little box and clean it up here when we get home and give y'all a better look at it. All right, let me keep at it. All right, guys, finished up out in the fields. I was out there for about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, somewhere in there. Anyway, I want to go over the small finds first, and then we'll go over the large stuff. I've already cleaned up everything about as good as it's going to get. It was just too cold out there to show y'all most of the stuff, because I'd have to take my gloves off and mess with the camera. But most of this stuff I've already looked at under a magnifying glass, just to make sure I'm not just seeing stuff out in the field. And most of these edges have been worked in some way, flint knapped, pressure flaked. So this is the edge of some kind of blade, most likely. It's a little crude. I think part of it broke right there, or when they were flaking it, they just knocked it off in a rough spot and never bothered to fix it. I don't know. That is pretty ragged right there, but that edge has definitely been worked. I'll try and show y'all, but I think my camera doesn't like stuff really up close. It tends to go out of focus. But under magnification, you can actually see where the little pressure flaking was done. So that's the first cool thing, I guess. This, I believe, is a broken spear point. I think that's the shoulder, and this would have been one of the the shoulder, but that's the notch is what I mean, the notch right there, and that's the shoulder. And same thing over here. It's just not a very good notch on this side. It broke off a little more, but the stem would have been right here, and then you would have had the rest of the point up here, or it would have been kind of more rounded. But I believe that's what that is. And again, you can sometimes, if I can get my finger around it, you can actually see the flaking, but it's kind of hard to see without magnifying it. But you can actually see the little where the flakes were taken. So I believe that's what that is, the base of one. And then this here, same kind of deal. This is either the base of one, and we're missing the top. Excuse me. Or because this edge is definitely worked, this edge is very blunt. Now it either broke the other edge off, but I mean that would be a pretty sizable piece, or this was a blade, and you would have hafted a handle on this end. This side would have been dull, and then you would have had the blade edge down here, and that's a possibility. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all think this is part of a larger spear point or a blade? It's hard to tell, because like I said, this stuff's been out there for thousands of years, and no telling how long they've been plowing them fields. It could have just been broke. But there you can see where the flake was taken off there. Little flake knocked off right there, across there. That was a good flake. But pretty cool. See that? That's pretty awesome. So those were definitely worked. Then I found some more just early American pottery, cookware, whatever you want to call it. Nothing super fancy. I thought this one might have had some kind of design on it, but I think it's just an imperfection in the finish. A couple plate pieces. This would have been on something fancy. I don't know if that would have been the edge of some kind of little serving dish or a gravy boat or what it is. I don't think it's a handle, because I think this end would have been attached. So it's not like a coffee cup handle or something. It would have been on top of something. But that's kind of cool. I like that. So now for the bigger stuff, I found 3 hammer stones and then a mystery item, which I don't know if my mind's playing tricks on me, but I'll let y'all decide that. First possible hammerstone. This one I can tell has been broken by the plow. This is all fairly fresh breaking. It's very jagged and rough, but this stone is super out of place in that field. This came from the river, which is several hundred yards away. So somebody carried this up into the field, so that's why I picked it up. I mean, it was definitely used either by the natives or early white settlers in that area, or the people who were using those fields. But if you're farming fields, you wouldn't want big rocks like this in them, so I'm thinking the natives carried this up there and used it. Maybe the other end was the actual end they were hammering and the plow took it out, so not sure about that one. Here's a pretty good sizable one, and show you the difference here. This end is smooth, even though it looks like it just got knocked and broken. It's very smooth. So this was done over a long period of time, as opposed to this, which was broken by a plow. Again, another river rock out of place in that field. And I'm gonna have to move the camera here, but I'm thinking they would have just just used it like this to smash berries and nuts and tenderize some venison, who knows. But that's a pretty good sizable hammerstone. No real finger grooves on it or anything like that. It's just a big one. You just palm it. Excuse me. Then I got this one. Again, it's worn out pretty good. Most of this is smooth, and then it's real jagged here, so I think it did get caught by the plow, but this was all done over a long period of time, so it's been hit by the plow though right there. So this one has possible finger grooving on it right here, which it's kind of hard for y'all to see. You can feel it more than you can see it, and then right up here, and it just fits right in your hand. When you put your fingers in those 2 grooves, it just fits perfect. And they could have used this for anything, for food preparation or starting out spalling some rocks to get some bifaces to start flint knapping, and then they go to pressure flaking with antlers and things like that. But yeah, it's definitely, I didn't realize it had the finger grooves till I washed it off, and then I was just playing with it in my hand and realized that, man, it feels really good right there, like it should sit there. There's almost like another groove right here, so like you could change and use this side. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Think that somebody used this thousands of years ago. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So now the mystery piece. I don't know, it just grabbed my attention. This is a big hunk of rock to haul out of there, but I felt I needed to at least bring it home and wash it off. Alright, I don't know what, if anything, this is, but all these grooves are like carved into this rock. This is not a plow came along and hit it. if I could get the light just right, I could show y'all that there's actually like 2 grooves there, 2 grooves there, 2 grooves there, 2 more grooves and 2 on the end. So there's like a pattern going through there. This on the side here I think is just scratches because it's not deep. I don't know what it is. And on this side there's more carving. I could not tell you. I can't make out anything, any kind of design really. I mean, it almost kind of looks like star shaped, kind of, but then over here it kind of loses it. So I don't know. Is that a? I have no idea. But that seems to be something carved right there, like almost like a little tree or something. Again, my mind could be just playing tricks on me, but the point is, this was definitely carved in. If you really wanted to let your mind play tricks on you, this almost looks like the shaft of an arrow with a point on the end of it. And then down here you got little fletchings. Is that what that is? I don't know. Is this right here some kind of a tool too? Is this a dude standing here with a body and legs? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things. But you would have to take this and have somebody to who can look at that, and they can tell you like how long ago these grooves were put in there. That's what they've had to do with a lot of the Viking rune stones they've supposedly found, and they can date when they were carved into the rock. But that just jumped out at me sitting there. It was covered in mud, but I could see the dark, the deep grooves in it, and the notches on the end here. I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think this is? I have no idea. And I don't know if I'm just seeing things in it, kind of like when you, there's a phenomenon where you can look at things and like clouds, and you see pictures, it's really just a damn cloud, but your mind plays tricks on you. But this is probably, okay, now you can kind of see the 2 notches, there's 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, and then 2 on the end. I got to get it in the light just right so you can really see it, but yeah, I don't know what that is. Or if it's just, maybe they were sharpening tools on this. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they were sharpening their antlers for pressure flaking, and sometimes they just needed a little bit, and sometimes they just grooved the crap out of it. Who knows? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'm just imagining things, but well, that's about all I got. I'm gonna sign off now. So I appreciate y'all watching my videos. I hope you find them pretty interesting. We're gonna keep looking for artifacts out there. Sorry about that. Gotta move the camera. Gonna keep looking for artifacts out there. Like I said, gonna go back and check out that home site. The other home is totally gone. That's where we're finding a lot of the stuff right here is probably from that house. Both those homes, by the way, were on one of the websites I use. You can look up old topographical maps for the areas, and 1900s, 1903, something like that was the oldest one. Went back on that particular website, and those 2 houses were there, and then by I think the 60s they were gone. So it'd be cool to get the old metal detector out there, but it's county property. I'd have to get permission. I don't think they allow metal detecting out there, but I'd have to talk to somebody in that county, just double check, because it's South Carolina. I live in North Carolina. I don't know what the rules are down there for county land and stuff. But anyway, appreciate you watching the videos, and hope y'all found this pretty interesting. And if you got any comments about any of the stuff I showed you, please leave them. I'll try and get back to you. All right, thanks for watching. Later.